Mercury is meeting the South Node in Leo while opposing the North Node in Aquarius, creating a powerful week for reflection around all of the stories that we tell ourselves. Old conversations, memories, or even people from the past may resurface, not necessarily to pull us backwards, but to help us gain clarity before moving forward. You may recognize an outdated belief, a pattern of communication, or a need for external validation that's ready to be released for good. This transit asks us to consider, are the stories you're telling yourselves helping you grow, or are they keeping you attached to an old version? Sometimes the most life-changing conversation is the one that we have privately with ourselves. Then the Virgo emphasis. Virgo season is in full swing this week as Mercury enters Virgo, trines Chiron retrograde in Taurus, joins the Sun, and then both Mercury and the Sun in Virgo square off with Uranus in Gemini. So much mercurial energy. This is an incredibly productive energy. Virgo wants us to organize, simplify, heal, and improve every area of our lives. The trine to Chiron offers practical healing. We begin to realize that growth doesn't always happen through dramatic breakthroughs. It can sometimes happen just through small habits that we choose and accumulate every day. Uranus reminds us not to become so attached to the plan that we resist necessary change, though. Unexpected news or sudden shifts may require us to adapt. This week asks us to stay organized without becoming rigid. The best plans leave room for life to surprise us. And finally, the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces. This week's partial lunar eclipse in Pisces brings an emotional culmination. The moon is opposite the sun and Mercury in Virgo, trine Mars in Cancer, sextile Chiron retrograde in Taurus, and square to Uranus in Gemini. Pisces reminds us to surrender what we can't control, while Virgo reminds us to focus on what we can. This eclipse is asking us to find a balance between faith and practical action. The Sabian symbol for this lunation is a church bazaar. I love this symbol because it reminds us that communities are built through shared gifts. A church bazaar is a place where everyone contributes something meaningful. And together, those individual offerings create something much larger than any one person could accomplish alone. This eclipse asks us to recognize that we don't have to carry everything by ourselves. Healing often happens through connection, generosity, and allowing ourselves to both give and receive support. Now let's go ahead and check out the tarot for this week. I pulled the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Cups. The Four of Pentacles ask us to notice where we're holding on too tightly, whether it's control, fear, money, or old expectations. Security comes from trust, not from gripping so tightly that nothing new can enter. The Nine of Wands reminds us that you're closer to the finish line than you think. Don't mistake exhaustion for failure. Rest if you need to, but don't give up. And finally, the Knight of Cups invites us to lead with compassion, creativity, and emotional courage. This is the card of following your heart while remaining open to meaningful love and inspired opportunities. So this week, release old narratives that no longer serve you.